Hey guys, I'm Richii Wainwright and today I want to show you one of my very favorite Cubase plugins that not enough rock and metal producers are using. So I have a track here that I'm working on and I'm happy with how all this part sounds, but then we get to the verse and let me show you how it sounds right now. So it sounds cool, but I really want these clean guitars to have that dreamy, ethereal ambient sound we hear in bands like Spiritbox, Architects, and Tesseract. Right now it just sounds super basic, but you're not going to believe how easily we can turn these guitars into something very cool. And the only plugin we need to do this is Shimmer. This is a new plugin in Cubase 14, and when this thing was introduced, I was like a little kid bouncing off the walls. For a modern metal producer, this plugin is just an absolute dream, so today I'm going to show you why Shimmer is such an important tool that should definitely be part of your workflow. So let's jump in. These are just left and right guitar tracks, no effects at all, just clean guitars. And you can see I'm sending those two clean guitars into this group track here so that we can put effects on this one track and it'll affect both of them. So let's just load up Shimmer on this group track and see what it does to the clean guitars. It already sounds epic, right? So let's explore this plugin a little bit and see how we can fine tune it to get the exact kind of sound we're looking for. So one of the things that really makes Shimmer unique and not just another reverb plugin is that we have this pitch function here. So you can see right now it's up at 12 semitones, meaning we get the original signal from the guitar and then we get this reverb signal that is 1 octave up. So if we put the mix down at 0, we just get the main sound. And then if we have it all the way up, you can hear it's that high octave reverb sound. So right now, let's keep it at 50 so we get an even balance of the two. And another thing I love about this plugin is how easy it is to focus on whatever frequency band you want. So if we just want low end reverb, we can do that. If we just want high end reverb, we can do that. So usually I like to cut my reverb nice and high. Let's go for like 230. We have a big bass guitar sound in the verse here, so I'm making sure that we're keeping the reverb from muddying up the mix. And I'm pulling the highs down to about 3K here, just so that we're keeping it nice and dreamy, kind of distant sounding. If you get too much of this high end, then it's going to be a bit upfront and abrasive. And it's very important for the kind of sound that we want here that it isn't too upfront, that it sounds distant and atmospheric. So that helps, just keeping it in the mid-range. So I'm going to leave the mix pretty low on that one, so we're just getting this subtle shimmery high octave in there. But now I want to show you another trick with Shimmer for how we can take this sound even further. So I'm going to load up Shimmer again, and this time I'm going to put it so that we're in the same octave rather than having that 12 semitones up octave. So we have that subtle high end sound from the first one, and then this one's just going to be like a long reverb tail, keeping it in the same octave. And again, keeping it focused on the mid-range. Maybe we don't have to go quite so low with the cut. Yeah, that sounds good to me. We don't have that high octave in there, so it's not quite as piercing, so we can cut that around 6K. And here I'm just really trying to find where that balance is so that it's nice and dreamy and you can hear it in the mix, but it's not too abrasive, too upfront, too piercing. And it sounds like 6K is about where we need to be. Let's try turning up the modulation here as well. So this is going to add modulation just to the processed reverb signal, not the original signal. And to me, it sounds like this adds maybe a bit of chorus and some tremolo effects or something like that. Yeah, you can hear if I turn that all the way up, it really starts fluttering around and getting even more of that kind of shimmery vibe. So let's play with that until we find a sweet spot. Let's play with the intensity as well. This sounds like it adds some really rich harmonics and maybe some more stereo imaging, so it's a very wide sound if you have this turned up. So I think we might want this quite high. Okay, that's sounding really epic and all-encompassing now. That's exactly the kind of sound we want. Okay, let's listen to how this is sounding in the mix now. So I'm going to hit play on the mix, and I'm just going to leave it as the dry, clean guitars that we initially had. Then I'll switch on both instances of Shimmer, the one with the higher octave, and the second one we've just added, just with that long tail on the main signal. Let's see how this enhances that atmosphere of the verse. Doesn't that completely transform the mix? It's so atmospheric now. There's so much depth to the mix. It really sounds like something that a listener can get lost in, which is exactly the vibe we're chasing here. And we can still take this a lot further. I want to show you another really cool trick with Shimmer. So like I said before, I'm going for a similar sound to what we hear from bands like Spiritbox and Architects. And the thing that those bands tend to do in their verses is they do have the ethereal guitar sound like this, but often they will layer that with a synth pad as well. So it's really atmospheric and full sounding. So here's my Shimmer trick for if you want a quick synth pad, but maybe you don't want to use a preset, or maybe you're not super confident designing your own synth sounds. Shimmer can do it for you. Check this out. So we want to start with pretty much any basic instrument. It could be a cello or a xylophone or an accordion, whatever you want. I'm going to go for the basic grand piano sound in Halion. So that sounds like this. Wait for this, guys. This is going to sound so cool. So I'm going to lay down some basic chords. I'm in the key of A minor. Let's do it. Okay, and let me just quantize this and fix the MIDI so it's nice and in time. So you're probably thinking, wow, that sounded really boring and didn't fit in the track at all. Well, let's put Shimmer on the piano. And again, I'm going to go really hard with the effects here. Let's put the mix all the way up so we're only getting that processed reverb signal and none of the original piano. Let's turn the reverb way up, intensity way up, feedback up a little bit. And I'm going to keep this an octave up so it's got that dreamy high octave sound. Focus it on the mid-range again. Isn't that incredible that one plugin can do that to our piano? So there you go, we've just turned our basic piano chords into another dreamy texture that's going to elevate this mix and take it to a whole other level again as far as how atmospheric and cinematic it sounds. And we've done all of this with one plugin. Let's listen now to what the verse was before and just listen to how much we've transformed it with Shimmer. So here's what it was. Here's what it is now. So at this point, you can probably see Shimmer is not just another standard reverb plugin. It's not just emulating the natural echo of, you know, if we were playing these guitars or pianos in a big hall or a big room. It's more like a feedback loop. So we play a note, it's fed into Shimmer, which gives us reverb, and then Shimmer feeds that reverb back into itself over and over. So we hear the echo and then the echo of the echo, and it just keeps expanding into this unnaturally huge, spacious sound that can be so much more epic and dreamy than if it was just a basic reverb. Then add the pitch function to that and it can really start to sound magical. So I definitely recommend you experiment with this plugin, not just because it's a great tool, but it's just so much fun to play with as well. There are so many possibilities for what you can do creatively with this thing. So thank you for watching, guys. Let me know below how you're using Shimmer in your own mixes. Subscribe for more Cubase content like this, and I'll see you in the next one.